Hey guys, back on the bench is the Byron AT6 restoration project. Got the wings pretty much where I think they need to be. They're ready for paint. Well, except for that. I did that to it this morning, ran it right into my workbench. Isn't that lovely? But anyways, it's hard to do with my phone. Because the last flight of this plane, it was ground looped and cartwheeled, the trailing edge of the wing where it meets up against the fuselage took the majority of the punishment, as I think I showed you in the last video. So it's been a lot of work to trying to get this all smoothed out. It's not bad right now. You can kind of still feel a little bit of a ridge right there, but since it's kind of up in the air whether or not the wings are actually going to stay intact, I'm not putting a whole lot of work into this airplane. So there's probably, a process of 5 or 6 times putting on some spot putty, sanding it, putting on putty, sanding it. Then I primed this part of the wing to give me kind of a better look at the surface. Then did some more putty, sanded it again, and then primed it one more time, and then sanded it for the last time. And now it's ready to have the entire wing primed. Then I'll do the last little bit of filling over the primer. Then I'll put on the final coat of primer, which will be wet sanded then painted. So yeah, that one looking good, at least as good as I need it to be. And as I had mentioned in the past about the flap servos, you can see I've already gone ahead and got started on that. The aileron servos, this was kind of an afterthought, you can tell. You probably can't really see it on the camera, but this whole surface right here is raised. So this is something that somebody obviously did after the plane had been flown for a while. It doesn't look all that great. It's kind of tacky looking, but whatever. So I decided to, do the same thing for this one. So all I did is doing some careful calculations between where the rear strap and the aileron servo extension come through, and boy was it close. You can see the rear strap right there and the aileron extension right there. So this just barely fits. So all I'm going to be doing is I already put my hard points on the servo. So I'm going to goop these up with some epoxy and micro balloons to the same to the inside. And just pop it in there. So it's not very clean. It's going to have now it's going to have 2 servos on the bottom of the wing, but I'm not too worried about it. But now I'll have a nice short push rod to move the flaps. So that'll work out nice. And just so I could duplicate this on the other wing, I went ahead and made myself a nice corny little drawing. So now I can transfer these exact measurements to that guy there. So that should turn out good. And, ooh, nice and shiny, sort of. Here's the funny thing. When my dad painted my Stearman, he picked up this paint, which is the Rust-Oleum 2X paint, and it's called Midnight Blue, but it's a satin finish. And when you look at the cap, it is really, really satin. But when you look at the finish, it's glossy, but it does have kind of a satin finish to it. And the finished product really looks nice. I mean, look at my Stearman. It's not like super glossy. Comparing it to the cowl, you can tell it's definitely more of a satin finish. But man, it looks nice. And that's the color I decided to go with my T6, or I'm sorry, SNJ. This is a Navy airplane now. So I've already put 1 coat of paint on there, and you can still see some scratches from all the body work and that I had to do on the fiberglass itself, but it is what it is. But I had to go ahead and get some paint on this thing so I can, get a little excited about it. So I'm going to go ahead, now that this has sat for a couple days, I'm going to hit it with another coat, fill in some of those smaller scratches, and really give it a good shine. So I just wanted to fill you in on how I'm going with the flaps. I'll have both the servos mounted tonight. I might take the wings into work with me tomorrow. Go in early and get some coats of primer put on. But I have a big surprise coming this weekend. Hopefully. Not going to give it away. A couple people already know what's going to be finding its way to my hangar down here. But hopefully this Saturday, I believe, going to be getting something pretty cool. If I do, I'll make a video. If I don't, I'll make a very sad video. But that's where I'm at. Everything's looking good. Fuselage is pretty much ready for primer, I think. I don't know. Ever since I started getting nervous about those wings, I just kind of lost my mojo on this project. It's I was half tempted just to not even prime the thing and just throw a bunch of paint on and call it good. But we'll see. I gotta at least make it look halfway decent. 'Cause you never know, it might turn out to be the best airplane I've ever had. You just never know. But, oh yeah, I even, because this was damaged so bad, I went ahead, and it's kind of hard to see, but I glassed the inside of here, so now this is extremely, extremely strong. So, awesome. Alright guys, hopefully here in a few days I'll have a big surprise to show you. See ya.